Greetings there, my friend. Welcome to the fire. Sometimes you got to remember that when you party up with your fellow adventurers, cooperation is the name of the game. The Firefly Incident. My story of a silly cleric. r/RPG horror stories posted by Dark Matter 0048. So, first time poster on the sub. Been lurking for a few months now, occasionally reading some of the horror stories here to some friends so we can have a good laugh/cringe at the horrible stuff you all have went through. But I finally decided that now I want to share the story I have of a power gamer who locked himself out of an entire session because he didn't want to waste a character feature. This session happened a year ago, so there may be some inaccuracy. Setting the stage here. The session, D&D 5th edition, 16th level at this point. DM, decent duration D&D player, been DMing the session for 2 years by this time. Male, me a Yanti pureblood necromancer, male, female character. AC, Azamar Cleric, the problem player, and the power gamer, male, female character. Extras, a centaur wizard and a horizon walker ranger who were both on my side and also informed the AC of everything stated. So, the DM has established a homebrew setting that adopted a bunch of inspiration from other creative media. One of those inspirations being that he sort of imported the Masquerade from Vampire the Masquerade, and as a result, our party was helping out the Brujah Vampire Clan, a bunch of weightlifting vampires for summary, so we could find information on a Semiche vampire, necromancer, fleshbenders, and put a stop to that vampire's shenanigans. We assisted the Brujah clan by holding off an invasion of these Semiche vampires from attacking their enclave. We had to defend the back line while the vampires fought on the front line, leaving us alone to face off against a couple of undead creatures and eventually a vampire. Big, long endurance fight, pretty much. The fight goes smoothly until we encounter the vampire. First things first. This is the first ever vampire our party had ever faced. We had no idea how to kill them or what exactly their weaknesses were. As a result of this, AC had the bright idea of activating her racial feature as a protector Azamar that allowed her to add her character level to her damage rolls once per turn to try to nuke the vampire out of existence. Of course, the vampire survives her first few blows and charms her. She fails the save, and now there is a giant ball of radiant fury trying to smite our entire party clean out of existence. As a reminder, AC at any point could drop this radiant Azamar form whenever she chose. The vampire commanded her to attack us, but she started striking us with her Chakram of Returning, which had Holy Weapon also cast on it, dealing an astounding 1d8 slashing, plus 1d8 radiant, plus 5 slashing, plus 16 radiant damage per turn to each of us. And she had an extra attack as well, so she could hit us twice for that same damage, minus the last 16 radiant. After almost downing me, low wizard HP, LOL, in a single turn, I made the rational decision to trap AC in a wall of force cast as a spear around her, trapping her in a sort of jar in the sky as she was flying at the time. I downright told AC that I end the spell and concentrate on something with more valuable if she just turns off the plus 16 radiant damage Azamar form. Of course, she declines, and we then have to fight a vampire and his henchmen while AC harmlessly plinks around the Spear of Force, attempting to attack us only for the chakram to bounce harmlessly off the walls. AC seething that she's unable to actually play the game at all because I trapped her in the spear. Our party manages to survive just barely. The encounter being balanced around 4 players while we had a fight with only 3 as AC was completely incapacitated and that my character was unable to concentrate on any other spell. The entire time, AC was completely unwilling to end her super damaging form, and the DM even clarified after the session that the vampire's command were not specific. She could literally just punch us for 1 bludgeoning damage with no bonuses, and it would still count as attacking us for the vampire's charm command. But she refused and kept striking us with her massive damage attacks, almost resulting in a TPK. This isn't the first time the AC had thrown a hissy fit in the sessions. We were a casual D&D group, so specifics on the rules were often forgotten about. As a result, he used this to his advantage and allowed his characters to pump out ridiculous numbers. An example being the stipulation that his Azamar form's damage bonus applying only once per turn. We were applying his plus 16 radiant damage to every attack he made, guaranteeing 48 radiant damage in a single turn with the aid of extra attack and spiritual weapon. When called out for this, he played the victim and claimed that his character was nerfed and would barely recover from the changes made. He had a crippling main character syndrome, often disliking it when we tried to divert away from the plot arc he wanted to do, almost killing my character because I took an evil magic item because I was a necromancer against her orders. TLDR, Power Gaming Azamar Cleric locks herself in a Spear of Force because he is so desperate not to lose his big nuke radiant form for the good of the party due to his crippling main character syndrome and power gaming fetish. While I do understand if AC's logic in this particular situation was more about the metagaming of knowledge in regards to the vampire's charm ability for the good of the party and the enjoyment of everyone else, I'd also try to figure out some sort of compromise. Games like this is cooperative in nature after all, but when you pair it with everything else that OP posted, yeah. Well, hopefully that group can figure out something that everyone can agree on and be happy with. And that's our story. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more future content. Also, if you would kindly follow the socials posted in the description, that would be amazing. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.